Hey everyone, and welcome to another Pathfinder adventure card game scenario. This is scenario 5.5 over at the Elemental Trenches with the character Drelm, where at this location, at the start of your turn, roll a d6, recharge all cards in your hand that have this trait. Alright, so we will go ahead and get started. We will advance the Blessings deck. It's a Blessing of Woodjet. We'll go ahead and roll for Elemental Trenches. We rolled a 5. So anything with the fire trait, okay. Nothing with the fire trait, so we're all set there. And we will explore. Alright, we get the smoke skin. Let's see what this does. Intelligence craft 8. Well, unless Drelm was a tool alchemical, so unless Drelm wants to spend a blessing on this, he will not be able to acquire this card because his intelligence or craft is just d6. So this boon will get banished. Looking at Drelm's hand, it's fine. Advancing the Blessings deck, Blessing of the Ancients. Rolling for Elemental Trenches. Rolled a 6. So anything with the poison trait? Okay, we don't have anything with the poison trait, so we're all set there. As long as we keep rolling 5s or 6s, we'll be all set. Alright, and we explore, we get the henchman. All damage dealt by this guy is poison damage. It says before you act, search your location deck. If you find a non-villain monster, he is evaded. Well, fortunately, check that out. We got this recharges card to ignore a non-villain Bane's power that happens before you act. It says before you act, sweet. We're going to recharge it. Alright, now we can just take care of this guy. That's exciting. So we have to do 2 checks. Combat 20 and a combat 25. So we got a lot of great stuff in our hand. So I think what we'll do for the first check, we're going to do the Natron Fang. It's going to be okay, so we're going to do our combat plus 1d8 plus 1. So it doesn't have the undead trait, unfortunately. Then what we're going to do, so assembling our dice, d10 and a d8. Assembling our dice here, d10 and a d8. And what we're going to do is we are going to use a Blessing of Nephis on this check, so that we can add an additional d10. Alright, so we're rolling this. Our total buffs for this check, we just buffed up Drelm's strength, are, believe it or not, plus 7. So plus 7, and we need to have combat 20. Alright, so we have, well, that's not looking good. So 8, 9, 10, and 4, and 7. Okay, so we did make that first check. We got a 21 and we needed a 20. So that's good. So we still have to do another combat check. So fortunately, we have a Dune of Doom spell. So we can use our Arcane or Divine Skill plus 3d10. Okay, so we're going to do that. Drelm's Divine Skill is d8 plus, get a load of this, plus 6. And we get 3d, is that right? Wow. 3d10, man, that's amazing. Okay, all these dice, we're adding 6 to the roll. Let's see what we get. Alright, we rolled a 1 and a 5 and a 1 and a 3. Wow, I can't believe that. So we only need a combat 20. Wow, so we have our buffs are plus 6, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 16. Wow, is that it? 16 and I needed a 25? Well, we are going to recharge Maga 3 Fingers, so we can add 3 to the roll. Well, let's see what that gets us. So, we need a combat 25. I can't believe that. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 6 is 16, 17, 18, 19. So our final score is 19. So as it is, we failed. We are going to see if we recharge our Dune of Doom spell. We need a Divine 15 check. So our Divine is d8 plus 6. So there's no way we can actually recharge that spell. It gets discharged. We take, I think it was something like 6 points of poison damage. Our hand has been depleted. This is level 5, which means that if we take poison damage, we suffer the Curse of the Ravenous. Alright. Well, he survives. we have a Curse of the Ravenous. He gets shuffled back into the deck. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's 8 cards left in this deck. Roll a d8, see which card is on top. It's the final one. Alright, that's where we're at. We're going to reset. Well, actually, now we have to do the end of the turn effects. So we're rolling for Curse of the Ravenous. Curse of the Ravenous says that all blessings in our deck get buried, or all blessings in our discard pile get buried. So we have to bury that Blessing of Nephis. Alright, now we will go ahead and we will reset Drelm's hand. We will advance the Blessings deck. It's a Blessing of Lady of Graves. We have to roll for the Elemental Trenches before we explore. 1. Anything with the acid trait. Okay, we don't have... Yes, we do. We got the corrosion spell. So we have to recharge that. That really sucks. Okay, now we can explore. And we get a Flaming Spear. And it's a Dexterity ranged. Drelm only has a Dexterity D6. So that is an auto fail. So now looking at Drelm's hand, he's got a lot of interesting cards. Unfortunately, we know that the villain has a Before You Act power that says that he can't even be defeated if there's any more monsters in the deck. So we'll just, tough call here. We could explore. We got cards that allow us to explore. I think what we're going to do is we'll just sit tight. We're going to sit tight, reset Drelm's hand, advance the Blessings deck. It's a Blessing of Isis. Rolling for Elemental Trenches 3. Anything with the cold trait. Okay, fortunately nothing with the cold trait. Advancing the Blessings deck. It's a Lightning Storm. Obstacle. I'll let you read that for a sec. So we just display this barrier next to our location, which we will. So now what we're going to do, Drelm's hand is fine. We have to roll for Curse of the Ravenous. Curse of the Ravenous says blessings in our discard pile get buried, so we don't have any there. Alright, we will advance the Blessings deck. We get a Curse of Fevered Dreams. Ouch. Drelm has 2 curses now, and he's going to roll for the Elemental Trenches. So rolling for Elemental Trenches. Anything with the acid trait. Okay, nothing in our hand has the acid trait. But we also have to roll for the Lightning Storm. Lightning Storm does 2 points of electricity damage to us. Wow. That really sucks. So, I think what we're going to do is we're going to lose a Blessing of Abdar. And we'll lose Blessing of Abdar. And we'll lose the Fire Kukuri. So those go into our discard pile as damage. Now we will explore. Okay, we get a Living Sandstorm. Trigger Outsider Elemental. So we did not examine this card. So he's immune to mental, poison, and ranged traits. Before you act, discard a card from the Blessings deck. Then shuffle the Villain's Sandstorm from the box. Wow, that really sucks. So not only do we have to discard a card from the Blessings deck, but we have to recharge. We have to actually add in the Villain's Sandstorm to the Blessings deck now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there's only 5 cards left in the Blessings discard pile. So there. Okay, so we have that going on right now. But now we can attempt to defeat this villain. Fortunately, Drelm has the Axe of the Imperative. We can reveal this card. It says here, if proficient with weapons and the Bane has a power that happens before or after you act, add another 1d8. So that's pretty cool. So what we're going to do is we can use our strength, our melee plus 1d6 plus 2, plus we can use an additional 1d8. I think that might be enough to defeat him. A d10, a d8, and we get the d6. Our melee buff is plus 6, and the axe gave us another plus 2. So we're adding 8 to this check. Feeling pretty good about it. Alright, so 6, 10, 11 plus 8 is 19. Okay, so the Living Sandstorm has been banished. So, looking at our hand, we have Commander Abdallah, who says, bury this card to recharge any number of blessings to have the Abdar trait from your discard pile. Huh. Well, do we want to do that? Blessing of Abdar. Do we want? Well, we're gonna bury in cards anyway. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna bury Commander Abdallah to get a Blessing of Abdar out of my discard pile. And with that, I'm just going to reset the hand. Then I have to roll for Curse of the Ravenous, which is 2 all allies. Don't have any allies in my discard pile. But now I have to roll for the Curse of Fevered Dreams, which says I have to reset my hand, and I only get to add how many? 2 cards to my hand. Wow, only 2 cards. That is insane. Okay, advancing the Blessings deck. We have to roll for the Elemental Trenches. Elemental Trenches says that all cards with the Bludgeoning trait. So we don't have any cards with the Bludgeoning trait. Now I have to roll for the Lightning Storm going on. Lightning Storm does 3 points of electricity damage. Fortunately, we have the Mystic Silk Cloak, so we can reduce that by 3 by recharging it. Okay, the only thing in Drelm's hand right now is he only has 1 card, Golden Serpent Armband. So, we might as well just go ahead and explore. Alright, so we're exploring. Glad we did. We were thinking of just doing a prep turn, but no. So this is Intelligence Arcane Wisdom Divine 12. Well, Drelm's Divine is D8 plus 6. So let's go ahead and see if he can acquire this. Oh, check it out. 8 and 6 is 14. Nice. So it says, display this card next to your location and choose Acid, Cold, Electricity, or Fire. While displayed, reduce damage of the chosen type to characters at this location to 0. And you may add 1d6 and the chosen trait to melee combat attacks by characters at this location. Okay. So it doesn't really say when I can cast it. I'm assuming I'll be able to cast it anywhere. But it has that at the end of the turn your effect. So that's sweet. So Drelm does get this card. But unfortunately what's going to happen is we got to roll now for Curse of the Ravenous. It says that for all items in our discard pile get buried. So we don't have any items. But now what's going to happen is we do have to, unfortunately, reset. We have to reset our hand. So we have to draw 3 cards. But then, thanks to Curse of Fevered Dreams, what we have to do is we have to recharge those cards. And we only get 1d4 plus 1 cards. So we get a hand size of 4. Okay, not too bad. Okay, advancing the Blessings deck. It's a Blessing of Abdar. Rolling for Elemental Trenches. We get a 6, anything with the Poison trait. Okay, we don't have anything with the Poison trait. We are going to go ahead and cast a Sands of Time spell, just so that's around to help us out this adventure. We have to roll for the Lightning Storm. We rolled a 2, we got to take 2 points of damage. I do have the Anktek's Armor, so we can bury this card. Or it says here, if proficient with light armors, we can discard this card instead. What's cool about that, and Curse of the Ravenous does not destroy armors, so that's pretty cool. I mean, I like that. So as it is, we'll stop the damage by discarding this card. So we do that, and we are going to explore. Okay, we get a Death Hound. We have to do 2 combat 7 checks. Well, fortunately, Drelm's melee, right now he just has 2 cards in his hand, Blessed of Pharasma and Maga 3 Fingers. So this is 2 combat 7 checks. So fortunately, Drelm's melee skill has a buff of plus 6, so it's an auto defeat. But we still get to roll a d10 because we have to do both. If the results of both checks to defeat are greater than 11, you may banish the Scourge displayed next to your deck. If not, suffer the score. Oh man, that is awesome. So the Death Hound is actually going to get rid of one of our Scourges. Man, that is so sweet. Okay, so what we're going to do is roll d10 for the first one, roll the 4, and the next one is a 4. So our grand total was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We had a 6 plus 4, so 10. Oh man, so we just had 10 on both checks. Well, we had the chance there to get rid of a Scourge. That would have been cool. So as it is, the Death Hound has been banished. We are now going to roll for Curse the Ravenous. 2. So our allies in our discard pile have to be buried. We don't have any allies. Now we're going to roll for, or actually we're going to reset our hand. But then we have to, we reset the hand. Now we have to draw 1d4, or roll 1d4. So we get 3 cards. So what happened is that we reset our hand. We had to recharge our hand. Now we're drawing 4 cards thanks to Curse of Fevered Dreams. Okay, not too bad. Alright, advancing the Blessings deck. It's that Sandstorm Blessing. So I'm going to return in just a moment. Technical difficulties.